are gods, we are kings. We march in faith cause we believe we can change the world to what it needs. Stand against our enemies cause we can. Yeah, can't nothing ever stop us. Take one and another will rise up. We'll endure until we reach the end. We are gods, we are kings, demanding change cause we believe we can.
Go into no Christian church and we sit in the pulpit and say, come as you are. We're supposed to go out here and make our forehead hard against your forehead. Come out here and tell you to keep God's commandments. Stop being niggas. You're supposed to be gods on this earth. You're supposed to be daughters of Sarah. This whole world's supposed to be a suggestion to us. But we love captivity. We love simplicity. We've adapted to being at the bottom. Get that in Jeremiah chapter 2, verse 11. Because I'm tired of seeing my people on the bottom. You ought to be tired of being on the bottom. You ought to be tired of getting shot down, gunned down by your own people. You don't do nothing when the other nations put you to death. It's time to wake up. Read that real quick. Jeremiah chapter 2 and verse 11.
Bring it out.
This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 2, verse 11.
Bring it out.
Hath a nation changed their God?
When you look at every other nation, have they ever changed their God? Had a Chinese man stop worshiping Buddha? Had a white man stop worshiping Caesar Borgia? Had the African man stop worshiping all his idols?
Bring it out.
But what? Come on.
Which are yet not gods.
And these are not even gods. When you look at Islam, they worship the moon. They worship the stars, the host of heaven. Those are not gods. But what?
But my people have not changed.
God says my people have what?
Have changed their glory.
Come on.
That which does not profit.
Right. So God's people, when you read Matthew 2 and 6, God's people are the Israelites. It said we have changed our God for something that's not profitable to us. We've changed our God for the so-called white man. We changed our God for something that it don't have nothing to do with us. We're the only ones that got a God. Get that in Psalms 96 verse 5.
Teach up.
Psalm chapter 96 and verse 5. We are the only ones that have a God. All the other gods of the nations are demigods, are idols, are deities that are not true. Come on.
This is the book of Psalms, chapter 95, verse 5. 96, verse 5. For all gods of the nations are idols.
Read it again.
For all the gods of the nations are idols. But the Lord made the heavens.
Right. So every other god that these other nations serve are idols. Get that in what's that? Deuteronomy chapter 12 or Deuteronomy chapter 4 and verse 12. All these other gods are idols. We fall into the foolishness of worshiping what the other nations do. That's why we at the bottom. That's why we can't prosper as a people. That's why we don't know to keep the commandments, because we stuck in Christianity. We stuck in Islam. We want to do the ways of the other nations. The other nations not under the law. We're the ones that's supposed to give the other nations the sin. We are the lawgivers on this earth. We are the gods on this earth. But we'd rather be heathen. We want to act like the Gentiles. Come on.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 4, verse 12. And the Lord spake unto you out of the midst of the fire. Ye heard the voice of words, but saw no similitude. Only ye heard a voice, and he declared unto you his covenant, which he commanded you to perform, even 10 commandments, and he wrote them upon 2 tables of stone.
Right, so this is the history. Moses is talking to the Israelites, telling them that they God-chosen people. He made a covenant with us by sacrifice and gave us the laws. Come on.
And the Lord commanded me at the time to teach you statutes and judgments, that ye may do them in land where you go over to possess it.
Right, so we've always had the law, statutes, and commandments. Moses said that God told him to let the Israelites know what they must do. Come on.
Take Take ye therefore a good heed unto yourselves, for ye saw no manner of similitude on the day that the Lord spake unto you in Horeb out of the midst of the fire, lest ye corrupt yourselves and make you a graven image, the similitude of any figure, the likeness of male or female.
Right, so this is going into idolatry. He's saying, hey, don't corrupt your minds with these things that I'm talking about. Don't fall into the snares of these things that I'm talking about. Come on, verse, what's that, 17?
Verse 17. The likeness of any beast that is on the earth, the likeness of any winged fowl that flieth in the air.
Right, so he's saying, don't make you a god that look like that. Don't make you a god of any beast or any fowl that flies in the air, anything that creepeth on the ground. Come on.
Verse 18. The likeness of anything that creepeth on the ground, the likeness of any fish that is in the waters beneath the earth. Unless thou lift up thy eyes into heaven, and when thou seest the sun and all the moon and the stars, even all the host of heaven, should be driven to worship them and serve them, which the Lord thy God hath divided into all nations under the whole heavens.
He said the Lord thy God what?
The Lord thy God which hath divided into all nations under the whole heavens.
Right. So the Lord thy God, he gave the sun, the moon, and the stars to the heathen to worship. We are not supposed to worship these things. Islam, the crescent moon, all this different stuff, the sun god, the solis, all that stuff, we're not supposed to worship that.
That's
We
right.
the only ones that got the one true God.
Right.
God is only for the Israelites.
Right.
God is not for nobody else. It's time that we come back to our true power.
Right.
But we'd rather be like the heathen.
Teach up.
Psalm chapter 106 and verse 35. We got to come out of this foolishness. We got to stop wanting to be like everybody else and stop trying to fit in. We supposed to be standout people. We supposed to be the salt of the earth. Our light is supposed to shine. Come on.
The book of Psalms, chapter 106, verse 35.
Bring it out.
But we were mingled among the heathens and learned their works. And when they served their idols, which were a snare to them, yea, they sacrificed their sons and their daughters unto devils.
Right. So we was mixed among the heathen through captivity.
Right.
We've been in slavery after captivity after captivity. From the Egyptians to the Syrians to the Persian and Medes. Everybody. The Greeks, the Romans, we've been and learned their ways. How you doing, bro? You doing all right? What's going on with you, man? We the Israelites, IUIC. We teach that the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans are the Israelites according to the Bible.
That's right.
You have any questions, or you just learning? You learning? You go to the Christian church? You go to church? Like you go to the Christian church? No? No, you just trying to find out what the truth is, huh? Oh, you trying to find out truth? You trying to find out knowledge? All right, well, yeah, let's get the truth real quick. Get that. John 8:32. Yeah, we're going to take you through it, bro. We're going to show you how we know that we the Israelites.
That's
When
right.
you look at everything that's going on with us as a people, it's an answer to these problems. Because we've tried what? We've tried marching in the streets. We tried holding hands in hands with the oppressor. We tried Islam. We tried Christianity. Christianity, we've been doing that since 1619. It's a church on every block, every corner, every hood, every ghetto, along with a liquor store, right? But it's no change. We go in these churches and the same thing still happens. You seeing all over the news that Catholic priests and pastors, they raping little boys 30 plus years. And nobody don't have nothing to say about it. It's all good, right? But that's not in the Bible. The Bible promotes change. The Bible says to be converted, to repent.
Right.
That's what's going to change us as a people. We have to reform our minds.
Teach.
Stop doing the ways of America. Stop following after these other nations and start following after God.
Right.
That's what we're supposed to do from the beginning. Read that.
This is the book of John, chapter 8, verse 32.
Bring it out.
And ye shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free.
Right, so it says, ye shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free. You know what I want? Get that in Psalms 119. Yeah. You shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free. When you start coming into the knowledge of the truth that I'm not a nigga, I'm not no so-called black man, I'm an Israelite from the tribe of Judah, or I'm an Israelite from the tribe of Benjamin, whatever tribe, that's going to make you free. Because we're in confusion right now. We got confusion in the faces. When you know who you are, you know where you're going. If you have no idea of what's happening to you, you don't know how to make it stop. It's like a continual vortex, you know what I mean? Or like a whirlwind. You caught in it and you don't know how to get out. But now that you come into the knowledge of knowing who you are, now you know where to start and how to start making these changes. Come on.
This is the book of Psalms, chapter 119, verse 42.
Bring it
142.
out.
The righteousness is an everlasting righteousness, and thy law is the truth.
And thy what?
And thy law is the truth.
So the laws of God is the truth. The laws of God is what's true in the Bible. That's what we got to come back to. Because when you start keeping God's commandments, that's what changed you. Get that in Acts 3. Acts 3, or not Acts 3. Get Psalms 19 verse 7. The laws of God is what's going to change our people as a nation. When we come back to keeping these laws, the laws of God is the only thing that's going to turn a gangbanger into a brother that loves his brother, esteem him as himself.
Right.
Turn a brother that's sleeping with women to women to women and whoring out his wife to a brother that's a family man that's going to raise up his nation.
Right.
Come out here and go to work with his brothers and raise up his people.
Right.
That's what the laws of God do. The laws of God stop you from being a dope dealer, selling drugs to one another,
Right.
killing one another. But they don't teach that in church. They teach come as you are and stay as you are. They don't promote no change. So that's what we out here doing, trying to gather the minds of our people and say it's not about just faith. The scriptures say faith without works is dead. And we got to have action. Come on.
Right.
This is the book of Psalms, chapter 19, verse 7.
Bring it out.
The law of the Lord is perfect, converting the soul. The testimonies of the Lord is sure, making the wise simple.
Right. So that's what I was just going over. That's what makes the simple-minded wise. That's what's going to turn a stripper into a righteous woman or a daughter of a Sarah. You know, get Deuteronomy 28.
Bring it out.
Get Deuteronomy 28. We're going to go through these curses and show you how we know that we these people. We just didn't come out here and dress up in purple just to put on a show. We not no Q-Dogs. We not no LSU Tigers or nothing like that. We the Israelites according to the Bible.
That's right.
We come out here to wake our people up, to give them warning, to say, unless you repent, you're going to die. And it is what it is. We don't have time to be out here playing with our people, kumbaya, all these smooth words like they give you in the church. We out here giving you this raw, giving you the Bible how it's supposed to be taught.
Right.
We're going to show you how we know you the Israelites.
Right.
Get that Deuteronomy chapter 28 and start at verse 46. Or 45. Check this out, bro.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 45.
Bring it out.
Moreover, all these curses,
what?
all these curses shall come upon thee, and shall pursue thee, and overtake thee, till thou be destroyed.
Come on.
Because thou hearkenest not unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to keep his commandments and his statutes, which he commanded thee. And they shall...
Right there. So you familiar with the Exodus, right? Are you familiar with Moses and the children of Israel? When they came out of Egypt, Moses, he told the people that it's going to come to pass in the future. If you don't keep these commandments, if you don't do what God said to do, then all these curses are going to come upon you. Because
Right.
when you read in Deuteronomy chapter 27 verse 1, we agreed to all those things that God set forth before us.
Right.
We made agreement. We said amen, meaning we was going to do that. We made ourselves God's people. So now in chapter 28, he's saying, if you don't do these things are going to happen to you. Future tense. It shall come to pass. Come on.
Verse 46, and they shall be upon thee for a sign, and for a wonder, and upon thy seed forever.
Right. So these curses are going to be upon you and your seed forever for a sign. We know that's Oprah Beauty Supply because it say Oprah Beauty Supply, right? We know that's Shamrock Gas Station because it say Shamrock Gas Station. Just like if you was to pull your license out and it say whatever your name is, we know that's you because it identifies you with that name in that photo. So likewise, the Bible says these curses, these are going to be the identifying marks of who the Israelites are in the last days.
Right.
What's happening in this Bible, you're going to be able to look throughout history and on going up to now to see what people fit these curses. What people is this happening to? Those are going to be your Israelites. All praise to the Most High, that is us. And we're going to show you right now. Go ahead and get verse 16.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 16.
Bring it out.
Cursed shall thou be in the city, and cursed shall thou be in the field.
Right, so cursed in the city, cursed in the field, right? Who was cursed in the fields? If you look at these signs, what is it showing? Who was it that was cursed in the fields? Because keep in mind, it says this will be from way back then up till now. You'll be able to look at these curses from when he's speaking it all the way up to now. So in history right now, what people do you know that was cursed in the field? It's on you. Our people. I'm going to just make it plain to you. If you look at these signs right now, our people are the ones that was cursed in the field. Our people was the ones picking cotton, picking sugar cane on the tobacco plants, on the tobacco field. We got our Northern Kingdom brothers picking vegetables and stuff like that. We still in slavery to this day. We got people in Africa in slavery right now in the cotton fields and in the plantations picking vegetation and stuff. We are the ones that was cursed in the field. You don't read nowhere in history where anybody else went through this type of chattel slavery like we did as a nation of people. And it says, curse shall you be in this city. You can look right here in this hood. All this trash and stuff on the ground. Our people got needles, condoms, used condoms, all this stuff on the ground. We killing one another, gang banging, the GDs versus vice lords, the Bloods and the Crips. We prostituting our women. We selling dope to one another. That's a curse. We're not supposed to be like that. We stack closely. Get Isaiah 5 and 8. We in the projects, right? We in low income, Section 8 housing. That's the same thing that was going on back then in history, during the time of Moses and on up. When you look in the dictionary, when you look at the definition of ghetto, it says an area where the Jews will resort.
That's right.
Predominantly, who was in the ghetto? The so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. Native Americans are on reservations. It's the same thing, though. They going through the same type of things that we going through. But we was the ones that was cursed in the city, cursed in the field. Read that.
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 5, verse 8.
Bring it out.
Woe unto them that join house to house,
Come on.
that lay field to field,
Come on.
till there be no place that they may be placed along in the midst of the earth.
Right, so it says destruction. That's what woe means. To them that join house to house. That's the projects. That's low-income housing. You see our people in these hoods and in these ghettos. You got apartment on apartment on apartment on apartment. The elevator smelling like piss. The hallways is off drug-filled and all that different stuff. That's what's going on. That's the situation we got put in. Roosevelt, they signed a contract called the New Deal, and it allowed them to do redlining in America. Meaning, when you look at a map, the red line was specific areas where the so-called blacks was placed and they could live. The FHA, the Federal Housing Administration, they was in on all that different stuff. That's why you see all these different people, that's why you see the so-called blacks in these specific targeted areas, because it's all by design. It's not just coincidence that we in the ghettos, in the hoods, in the slums, in the barrios. We are here by design, you know? When you look at, say for example, the benefit of them putting us in these ghettos and stuff, schools, right? When you look at the schools funded, schools, they are funded by property tax. So if you live in the ghetto, you live in the slums where nothing is worth value, it's no taxes going to that county. So now you don't have money to buy nice books. Now you don't have money to buy up-to-date material and curriculum. You know, all that stuff play a part with these curses. We are cursed as a people. Read on, get verse 32. Deuteronomy. So now we're going to go to verse 32. We was reading how we was cursed in the city, cursed in the field. That's us. Get verse 32.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 32.
Bring it out.
Thy sons and thy daughters shall be given into other people.
Come on.
And thy eyes shall look and fail with longing for them all the day long. And there shall be no might in thy hand.
Right. So it says, thy sons and thy daughters shall be given to another people. Another people means another race of people. It says, and you wasn't going to be able to do nothing about it.
Right.
Now, I'm pretty sure, man, you done seen Django, 12 Years a Slave, all these movies that they make mockery of us. You know, you've seen that. And it shows how our sons and daughters was given to another people. We didn't have no military might, no financial might. It was nothing that we could do. If the so-called white man wants to take your daughter right now and ship them all the way across, say, from Oak Cliff to New York, it wasn't nothing you could do. All you could do is cry and sigh about it, because you wouldn't speak up against them because they would put you to death.
Right.
It was nothing we could do. We didn't have no army. We had, you gotta look at this, we had 500 slaves, big bucks on the plantation, and 5 white men ruling over the plantation. It's the spirit of the Most High God that got put up on us to have that fear. Because ain't no way we should have been, ain't no way we should have allowed that to happen. But this is of God. These curses that are upon us is of God. It's no way that should have happened to us. Because we are greater than them as a people. We better than everybody. That's not my words. That's what the Bible says. When you read Deuteronomy 76, we the greatest nation of people in this earth. But yet we at the bottom. How is it that the guys are in the ghetto? How is it that we the ones in the slums and in the barrios and stuff? We the ones that can't get right. But we better than everybody on this earth. It's because God has placed a curse upon us for our disobedience. Come on, get where you at? Yeah, Deuteronomy chapter 28 and get 43, or just get go through the curses. It don't matter, pull whatever.
Okay. This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 43. The stranger that is within thee shall get up above thee very high, and thou shalt come down very low. He shall lend to thee, and thou shalt not lend to him. He shall be the head, and thou shalt be the tail.
Right. So when you read in the history, we was all given different allotments of land, minus the Levites, because the Levites, they did stuff pertaining to the temple. But we had people around us like Moab, Edom, all these different other nations. It say the stranger that is within thee is going to get up above you very high, and you're going to come down low. He shall lend to thee, and you won't lend to them. Meaning, we're not going to be able to do nothing as a nation of people to where we can prosper from the other nations or lend anything financially, monetarily to the other nations. But everything that we got to do, in verse 48, everything that we own as a people, we got to go to the other nations to get. We don't have any black-owned banks that can sustain a nation. We don't have any type of vegetation or agriculture that can sustain another nation. But yet, that's how it was supposed to be from the start. We were supposed to be the ones that everybody come to, but yet now we rely on everybody for our livelihood. We got to go to the other nations for everything. We're going to prove it right here. Read that.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 48.
Bring it out.
Therefore shalt thou serve thy enemies, which the Lord shall send against thee, in hunger, and in thirst, and in nakedness, and in want of all things.
All right, read it again.
Therefore shall the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 48.
Bring it out.
Therefore shalt thou serve thy enemies, which the Lord shall send against thee, in hunger, and in thirst.
Right, stop. So it says, therefore shall you serve your enemies. So the attributes of the enemy, God is going to tell us about it. We're going to serve our enemies, it says, for hunger, right? Who do we got to go to for all our food? Do you know anybody that's so-called black, Hispanic, Native American that manufacture food or not manufacture, distribute food? We have our own farms. We have our own gardens, vegetation, agriculture. Department of Agriculture, we got any contracts with them to distribute food to all these Walmarts and all this different stuff? No, we got to go to the other nations. We got to go to all these different restaurants and all these different grocery stores to get our groceries, and they come from the other nations. We don't have. You got a couple people that might have some tomatoes in the back, some cucumbers in their backyard, but it's not enough to sustain a nation.
Right.
You know, it says, and in thirst, when you want something to drink, not just you. We got to go through these same things too. We just came to the knowledge and we bring it to our people. We got to go and buy water from the other nations. That's a natural resource, just like air. But why is it that the so-called white man controls the water distribution? That's a natural resource. It's free, but we got to pay for it. It shouldn't be like that. That's a curse. No other nation got to do that. We the only people that got to go to everybody in the want of all things. And they said, come on, and what? After thirst?
And in nakedness.
In nakedness, when you look at the clothes that we wear, even our garments that we got on, we got to go to another nation of people. Hey, come over here, bro. All right. Yeah, we got to go to another nation of people to get all these things. We don't have any raw textiles or any type of threads and stuff like that to make our own clothes and distribute it. Most of our clothes say made in Taiwan, made in China, somewhere like that. We don't have the ability to produce our own clothes. We got to go to the other nations to buy everything. Come on.
And in want of all things.
Right, so anything you want. You want that chain and charm on your neck. You want your shoes. You want education. You want religion. You want to be born. You want to die. You want permission to travel across the world, to get a driver's license. All these different things, we got to go to another nation of people to get that. And at the top of that verse, it says, you will serve your enemy. So the people we got to go to get these things are our enemy. Because even in getting these things, they make it difficult for us to get them. Right. More than the other nations. We got to go through all type of obstacles just to be even on an equal playing field or a somewhat equal playing field with the other nations. Right? When you look at just say like at a job, right? You look at a job, man, they'll hire the so-called white man that don't have no experience, could be a bum on the street. He clean himself up, come in, he a supervisor, but yet you got a brother or a brother that look like you or me, or a Hispanic brother, you know, they got degrees, they got experience, intelligent, they can articulate themselves, but they got to have all these different qualities and all these different attributes just to even be considered, and they still don't get the job.
That's right.
But you got somebody that's basically entry level nothing, because he got the complexion for the connection, he got it. That's a curse, bro. That's going to the next, even with our jobs. We got to build all these things up for us. We got to build up infrastructure. We got to build up our nation. All these things we rely on for other people, we got to be able to do it for ourselves. Finish that out.
And he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck until he have destroyed thee.
So that same enemy where you got to go to him in one of our things, he going to put a yoke of iron upon your neck until now you destroyed. When did that happen to us? When was yokes of iron put on anybody's neck in history? You look at these signs, that's why we got these visuals out there. You can look right here. Yoke of iron, yoke of iron. They used to put these on our neck, so that way if you ran away, they could hear the bells jingling in the woods. They can sick the hounds on you, come get you.
Right.
Yokes of iron on your neck. All this stuff is Bible prophecy.
That's right.
All of it is Bible prophecy. No other nation ever had yokes of iron on their neck. When you Google yokes of iron right now on Google, a so-called black man gonna pop up. Because that's us. It only happened to us. Nobody else went into slavery as a people.
Right.
We the only people that went into slavery as a nation.
That's right.
Other people have been enslaved. I'm not going to say other people have been enslaved, but not to the caliber of what has happened to Jerusalem. You can read that in Daniel 9. Nothing has ever happened like as what happened to us as a people.
Now they will see the true men of God. We are not black men, we are Israelites.
That's right.
Take care of us. And our children too. We have repented. How are you? People want to know, who's the king?
Oh, nation of Israel, it's time to return to the Father. Oh, nation of Israel, it's time to return to the Father.
Now why they trying to make it so hard to serve God? And why when I say that I'm a Jew, it sound odd? For years I've been walking around saying that I'm a black man. I ain't saying that no more, it sound wrong, man.
This is Bishop Nathaniel of Israel United in Christ. Please subscribe to our YouTube channels. Stay up to date with our latest events, music, and classroom lessons. IUIC plans to continue visiting different countries where this gospel has not been preached before. IUIC needs your help in pushing this truth. So join us. Subscribe to our Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and podcasts, and stay up to date with us. For more information, please visit www.israelunite.org.